with X-Pole. And this is Kamara and Heidi.
Hello.
So we're going to learn a little bit more about X-Pole. This is my new X stage, and I'm super excited. And so how did you guys get started selling X-Poles?
Well, basically, my boss went to an expo and saw X-Pole UK, Vertical Leisure, have their setup, and just was like, wow, this is amazing. And after he checked in on the product, he got a sample of it. He was like, this is super awesome product. I want to get involved with it. So one thing happened to another, and then we ended up selling X-Poles for a while. And it wasn't until April of last year that X-Pole US officially started and became the US distributor for X-Poles, and Canada.
Nice. Okay, and Canada too.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it hasn't been in the US for that long.
No, the Vertical Leisure was supplying US clients with X-Pole, but obviously it's difficult with them having to deal with customer service when the difference in time and all that good stuff. So they wanted to set up an office here where people could contact us easily. And
right. Well, it's great. We love you guys.
Thanks.
So, do either of you two pole dance?
I do a little bit. I started getting obsessed with it and wanting to learn because everyone always seemed to have so much fun with it. And we've done a few parties that people go crazy, especially on the spinning mechanism on the X-Poles.
Yeah.
That's what they love. And so I got so interested in it that I wanted to start learning, and I did. I started learning a little bit. I'm not advanced, and I can't do all the cool upside down stuff, but
it's fun.
It's fun.
Right.
It's fun, even though the little stuff that I can do is still fun. So, and then of course every party that we go to, Heidi knows everything. Go
Heidi.
them.
Right.
And so they'll want me to teach a little bit of stuff that I barely know, but it's still fun to teach to girls, especially that don't know anything about it. So.
I think that, and then the funniest thing too is that when you realize what a killer workout it is, because the next day we're like, God, I didn't even know I had that part of my body, and it's sore and stuff like that. So that's always fun.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, if we, we're really hoping to get more into it, but we slave away in the office so long that we're trying to find the time to do it. But we've got a lot of that's stuck in here.
See, there's so many. We gotta get rid of.
Yeah, look at all these boxes.
I gotta go soon. I'm gonna get some more.
I'm gonna steal them all. No. If it's empty, you know what happened. No.
Let's make sure we set the alarm code.
Yeah. So what is the really cool thing about the X stage?
Well, I think, in my opinion, there's several things that really blow it out of the, there's no competition involved with it, but, compared to the competitors, I think the main thing is the amount of workable pole you have. We have about, the X stage itself, from the bottom to the very top of the pole is about 10 feet.
Okay.
Obviously the stage is about a foot, so you have about 9 feet of pole that you can dance on.
That's great.
Which, compared to others out there where you're 7 feet, I think, especially if you're a taller person, it's like you're, but you can't really, it's very limited.
Stable way up at the top.
Right, exactly. So, we've, you've seen us at URSA. We have had 2 girls on one X stage at a time, and completely stable. We've talked about the weights you can put underneath here. You can put the weights on there. You can pull these legs out. You can do all that stuff to increase the stability.
Right.
But it, even when you don't do any of that, it's still remarkably stable. For us, it's, I know a lot of people, probably a lot of people watching this will, we're frustrated with us because the X stage was supposed to come out here, then it was supposed to come out here. But for us, it was really, really important we developed a few prototypes and we tested it and we got all the feedback we could, and we've been making improvements ever since. So now, it wasn't until we were 110% confident that we had the most superior product, and that's when we released it. So now it's, going really, really well. And, the rave reviews, it's amazing. So
nice. Hi, we're back. This time I'm going to do a couple moves on the pole here, and they'll talk a little bit more about cool stuff that's happening with X-Pole. So,
cool. Well, so the first time you were on the X stage was at URSA?
Yes.
Okay, and have you been on one since then?
No.
Oh, cool.
No,
yes. Okay, nice.
Second time. Yeah,
right.
my second time.
Cool.
And this time I didn't just have a baby.
So, as you can see when she does the moves that, there's gonna obviously be a little bit of play in the pole, but it is very, very stable. And once again, just to let you know that there are no extra weights added. We didn't pull the legs out because it's a fairly flat surface. And you can see how, stable it is even as she climbs up to, to the very top at 9 feet. Yay! So yeah, we're really, really happy about our X stage. And then also we do have, I think I've told a lot of people that we have our new pole that's came out, the Kendra Wilkinson Sport Pole. So, Kendra really wanted to get involved in something to obviously market herself, but also do something that was, she's very physically fit. And so now she's gotten married and pregnant. So what she's going to do after she has the baby is to work on getting her, getting back into good physical shape, but also feeling sexy again. So I get calls every day from moms, and Julie's told me that she has moms, that she gets a lot of calls from moms too. So that's one of the beauties of pole dancing, is that it not only makes you feel sexy and strong, but it also is a great, great workout. So we are going to release the X pole, the sport pole, which is pretty much the Kendra pole, but it just doesn't have the Kendra box, and it doesn't have the signature base. So if you want all the great features that X pole offers in the sport pole, which is that bottom loading feature, which is amazing, that one's only offered in the 45 millimeter chrome, and it does not have the spinning. But it's great for, the woman that wants to be able to set it up quick in her house, and, doesn't require, to get up on a step stool each time and tighten it up at the ceiling.